Welcome to the English Listening Lab podcasts. I'm Joe.
And I'm Jane.
This podcast is all about helping you speak English the way you really want to, naturally, confidently, and with zero panic attacks.
Zero panic attacks? That's ambitious.
Okay, maybe just fewer panic attacks.
Today's episode is gonna be juicy because, let's be honest, most of us have been learning English for years, but still freeze when it's time to speak.
Or worse, we start translating in our heads, and by the time we say the sentence, the conversation has moved on.
Okay, before we dive in, Joe, tell me, most embarrassing English moment.
Oof, there are so many. But okay, picture this. I'm in New York, ordering at a busy coffee shop. I'm nervous. I want to sound confident. I say, "Can I get a tall Americano with no underpants?"
What?
What? Yeah, I meant no whipped cream. But somehow, underpants came out. I don't know why.
That's not just a vocabulary mistake. That's legendary.
Everyone stared at me. The barista smirked and just said, "We don't usually put underpants in coffee."
Okay, now I have to share mine. I was at a job interview, super serious setting. The interviewer asks, "How do you handle stress?" I smile and say, "Oh, I usually eat snakes."
Snakes?
I meant snacks, but my brain betrayed me. I saw his face twist in horror.
She eats snakes. Hire her immediately.
The point is, we've all had those moments.
Yeah, and what we realized over time is the problem isn't really grammar or vocabulary.
It's not about how many words you know.
It's about how quickly your brain accesses them when you speak.
And how relaxed you are while speaking.
So here's the promise. In this episode, we're going to show you what most English learners are never taught.
And it's not about more grammar books or more rules.
It's about breaking free from the way you were taught English.
And discovering how to actually use it.
Let's get into it.
So let's start with the biggest trap. Back translation.
Oh yeah, that habit of translating every single sentence from your native language into English, word by word.
It slows you down big time.
And it messes with your reflexes. I used to do it all the time. I'd think of a sentence in Vietnamese, then try to turn it into English, but by the time I was done, I forgot what I wanted to say.
Been there. And honestly, it's like trying to run a marathon in flip-flops.
Exactly. It works in theory, but you'll never get far.
Here's a little challenge. If you're washing dishes or brushing your teeth, try talking to yourself in English, out loud or silently.
Like, now I'm picking up the bowl. It's slippery. Don't drop it.
Look at me washing dishes like a responsible adult.
It sounds silly, but it trains your brain to think in English.
You stop building the sentence and you start feeling it.
And the more you do it, the faster your reflexes get.
But let's talk about pronunciation.
Oof, sensitive topic. So many learners think they have to sound like a native speaker or they're doing it wrong.
But here's the truth. Clear pronunciation doesn't mean perfect. It means understandable.
Right. I still have an accent, and I'm fine with that.
Same. And sometimes people find accents charming or even sexy.
Don't promise too much now, Jane.
I'm just saying, your goal should be clarity, not perfection.
Also, rhythm and tone matter more than individual sounds.
Yes, like, I don't know can sound like, I don't know. Or, what are you doing becomes, what you doing.
Native speakers smush things together all the time. If you try to speak too clearly, you actually sound less natural.
Exactly. Learn the music of English, not just the words.
That's why acting helps.
Oh yeah, pretend you're in a movie. Use your face, use your hands. Don't just say the words, feel them.
Like you're playing a role.
That's what helped me. When I pretended to be a confident speaker, I slowly became one.
You fake it till you speak it.
Trademark that, Joe.
Already done. But seriously, emotion matters. If you speak like a robot, people will tune out.
And you'll feel awkward. So loosen up, smile, even when you're nervous. Especially when you're nervous.
That reminds me, when you're embarrassed about your English, your brain goes into panic mode and your vocabulary hides.
Facts. It's like, oh no, grammar police are listening.
But newsflash, native speakers make mistakes too, constantly.
And no one cares. So the real problem isn't making a mistake, it's being afraid to make one.
I used to think, if I say something wrong, I'll look stupid.
And now?
Now I realize staying silent is what kept me stuck.
Boom. That's it. If you want to improve, you have to use the language, not just study it.
You can't learn to swim by reading about swimming. You have to jump in.
Even if you splash around awkwardly at first.
Splash with pride.
So here's a simple trick. Try shadowing.
Oh, yes. Pick a short video or podcast, listen to a sentence, pause, and repeat it, copying the tone and speed.
Don't worry about the meaning at first. Just mimic the rhythm.
It's like singing along to a song.
And it builds muscle memory in your mouth.
Trust me, after a week of doing that, your mouth will want to speak English.
Even if your brain's still catching up.
Which brings us to mindset.
Big one.
If you think of English as a scary subject with rules and exams, you'll never enjoy it.
But if you treat it like a tool for connection.
Suddenly, it becomes exciting.
And real.
And fun.
We're not saying grammar's useless.
Nope, grammar helps, but don't let it be your boss.
Let it be your assistant.
Wow, Joe, that was deep.
Sometimes I surprise myself.
So, to everyone listening, if your goal is to speak English, stop obsessing over perfection.
And start practicing expression.
Start speaking from the heart, even if it's messy.
Especially if it's messy.
That's where the magic happens.
You know what else helps? Creating tiny speaking rituals.
Ooh, go on.
Like talking to yourself in English when you wake up. Okay, Joe, today we're gonna crush it. Let's brush our teeth like a champion.
Let's wear socks that match today.
Or record voice notes to yourself on your phone. Just 1 minute a day. Talk about how you're feeling, what you're planning, or even what you just ate.
I love that, because then you start getting comfortable hearing your own voice in English.
And you can laugh at your mistakes instead of fearing them.
Totally. I remember the first time I listened to a voice recording of myself speaking English, I cringed so hard.
Everyone does. But then I realized it wasn't actually that bad.
Same here. And the more I did it, the more confident I got.
Confidence doesn't come before speaking. It comes from speaking.
That's such a huge mindset shift. Most people think, I'll speak when I feel ready.
But you don't wait until you feel fit to start exercising, right?
No, you just start, even if you're out of breath in 30 seconds.
Language is the same. Start messy. Start nervous. Just start.
And once you do, things click. Suddenly, English isn't this big, scary thing anymore.
It's just part of your day, like brushing your teeth.
Or forgetting your umbrella.
Or talking to your dog like a human.
Good boy. Who's the best boy? Do you want food? Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's actually great practice. Dogs are the best listeners.
No judgment.
And they never correct your grammar.
Okay, can we also talk about comparison?
Ugh, yes.
So many learners beat themselves up because someone else speaks better or more fluently.
But fluency isn't a competition.
Right, and everyone's journey is different. Some people have more exposure, more time, more confidence.
But that doesn't mean you're behind.
You're just on a different road, and that's okay.
Honestly, progress in English is like growing hair.
Wait, what?
You don't see it happening every day, but one day you wake up and realize, whoa, I've come a long way.
That's actually brilliant.
Thank you. I moisturize my metaphors.
Look, we all have moments where we feel stuck. But if you're listening to this podcast, it means you care.
And that's the most important ingredient. Not talent, not IQ, not a perfect accent.
Just a willingness to keep going, keep trying, keep speaking.
Even when it's awkward.
Especially when it's awkward.
Because that's how real communication happens, with stumbles, laughter, and learning.
I mean, even in your native language, you mess up.
Oh, absolutely. I still say weird things in Vietnamese.
Me too. Sometimes I walk into a room and forget why I'm there.
That's not language. That's just being human.
Fair, but it proves a point. Mistakes are universal.
So don't let one small mistake ruin your vibe.
Instead, celebrate it, laugh about it, learn from it.
Make it a funny story for your future self.
Like our underpants coffee.
Or my stress-eating snakes.
Those moments are golden. They remind us that we're alive, growing, and trying.
And honestly, if your English is bad but you use it,
You're already better than someone who knows the rules but stays silent.
truth bomb.
So wherever you are, on a crowded train, in your room, or stuck in traffic,
We're here with you, and we believe in you.
not because you're perfect, but because you're showing up.
That's the real flex,
So say the thing, even if it's weird.
especially if it's weird,
Practice today, speak today, mess up today.
because that's how you'll shine tomorrow.
You know, Joe, I think if someone listens to just this one episode and truly lets it sink in,
Their English journey could shift forever.
because it's not about learning harder
It's about learning smarter
and gentler.
and with more fun.
Yeah, like, I wish someone had told me this 5 years ago.
Go on.
You don't need to be fluent to start speaking. You need to start speaking to become fluent.
Oof, that hits.
And another one, perfection is a myth, connection is the goal.
I used to freeze up because I thought every sentence had to be correct.
Me too. But now I realize most people are just happy you're trying.
Yeah, you don't have to impress people, you just have to connect with them.
Language is a bridge, not a performance.
And that's why we made this podcast, not to lecture.
But to talk, like humans, like friends.
Hopefully funny, slightly awkward friends.
But real ones.
And if you've made it this far into the episode,
It means you care enough to grow.
so give yourself credit.
And give yourself permission
Permission to make mistakes.
to sound silly sometimes.
To speak English like it's yours, because it is.
It's not just something you study.
It's something you live.
So let's leave everyone with one powerful reminder.
I used to fear saying the wrong thing.
Now I know staying silent was the real mistake.
Boom.
All right, folks, that's all for today's episode.
If you laughed, learned, or just feel a little more ready to speak,
Please hit that follow button, leave a review, or share this episode with a friend who needs it.
and remember,
Stop learning, start speaking.
and don't forget, next week we've got a wild story about how Jane accidentally joined a biker gang in Australia.
It's not what it sounds like.
Subscribe now so you don't miss it.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.